back to the channel. It's DeLaney with DeathandCandy 27. Today you're going to see me do my 2019 favorites. It's going to be a full get ready with me. I'm not going to be talking too much throughout using the products. I'm just going to be putting on those products and showing you what I like and just all of that jazz. So stay tuned for the application. All right.
Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel.
Alrighty guys, let's get into the video. This is like my second video before the end of the year. Oh, so excited. So today we're actually doing a old school get ready with me. Like, how long has it been since you've seen me do a full face? I'll link the most recent one up in the eye for you. Today we're going to be doing my 2019 favorites. It's a very popular video this time of the year because we're almost into 2020. It's time for the roaring 20s, bitch. So for foundations today, we're actually going to be using two of my favorites. I really like mixing these two specifically together, but on their own, they're also good as well. The first one is going to be the LA Pro Matte Foundation. This is in the shade Porcelain. I really like how matte this foundation is. It doesn't smear throughout the day. It stays relatively well on my T-zone where I'm the most oily, so I really do enjoy that. We're also going to mix it with the MILANI Conceal and Perfect. This is the 2-in-1 foundation that has a concealer and a foundation in it. This is also in the shade Porcelain because your bitch be white. This one I really like because it's more one of the dewier formulas that I have, so I like mixing those two together if I'm trying to get like my perfect amount of wetness. But both of these are super affordable drugstore brands. You don't need to buy a $30 foundation, honestly. I already mixed them together in my little cap, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply those. We're gonna be using this one from e.l.f. This is like $1. It's just a blending sponge. Very like squishy and spongy. If I want more of a dense sponge, which I kind of like for using the Morphe Fluidity foundation, which is more of a matte like the LA Pro. 2019 just flew by, guys. And at times it also felt like it was the longest year. Like, ugh. As you guys can see, my eyebrows are growing back in because I haven't shaved them in like 5 days at this point, I think. Like, I don't know how long it would take for them to get like fully full like they were before, but I mean, I don't see that it would take that long. Thinking about like growing a beard for 2020, but y'all don't hold me to that promise because I don't know how feasibly I'm gonna be able to grow a beard, so. And my skin is actually doing relatively well today, so like I'm shook. I've been under so much stress lately, but you know, like we're not breaking out a whole lot. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Next step is gonna be concealer. This is the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. This is in the shade C2. And I really like just the formula of the concealer. The shade is also really nice. This is for light with pink undertones. So I just really, I enjoyed it. Some people don't want to like it because it's Jeffree Star, and other people don't want to like it just because they don't like the formula, but I actually enjoyed it. I'm just going to take a Beauty Blender Blatterazzi to just blend that out. As you can see, it's gross, but I like using this flat one versus like a regular sponge to blend out my concealer. Next up is going to be the Fenty Matchstick in Amber and Linen. I de-potted mine per se out of the stick when I was getting almost through with my Amber shade, so I have actually been using that for like the last 6 months, and I'm surprised I still have like that much contour product in there. So when y'all get to the end of those Fenty matchsticks, scrape out the inside because you can have so much more product that way versus like trying to put the stick on the skin and all that. To apply it, I'm going to be using my Morphe M334. It's just a little dense angled brush. It's going to go in the normal contour areas. I know this isn't like a new product, but it's one I just am continuously using and going back to. I do have a couple of foundation sticks or like contour sticks from ABH that I either need to check and see if they're expired because I've had them for a couple of years now, or I need to like just pan out and get done with. So I'm probably going to start switching over to using them. Gotta get that net, girl. And then I'll take the Linen shade on a Morphe M333, and I just use it to kind of carve out underneath the contour. So I have kind of a blurred line versus just like a blended line. Alrighty, now that I'm done with creams, I'm gonna move on to powders. Like, I do a full face, y'all. That's a lot of products. Some days in 2020, I'm gonna try to like cut through some of the products that I use and see if it makes a difference in my face. Like, maybe not use a powder contour one day, maybe use like just a cream contour one day, like stuff like that. Like, I need to simplify and streamline my makeup a little bit, and I want to try like more natural looks and like dewy finishes. I know I said that like earlier in 2019 on my other channel with Chip, but like I actually want to do it this time instead of just lie. But my favorite powder so far for this year that I actually use within having it is the BECCA HYDRA-MIST Set and Refresh powder. You're actually going to see me open up my second box of it today. is really nice and like cooling. This is a really good product for summer. I got it in my BoxyCharm, and so that's how I discovered it. Because otherwise, like when I go into like Ulta or Sephora, if they even have them at Sephora, I think so. I don't know if Becca's at Sephora, don't quote me. When I go in there and I see that Becca's there, I don't like go look at it. I just walk by it because I'm like, whatever. Inside it has a little sticker that says, "Keep me clothes to keep me cool." Same, girl, same. Ooh, y'all ready for this? That's super close to the microphone. Oh my god. I just go in with a little Laura Mercier powder puff. I just like this one because it's so soft. I will say that this powder is not the best if you are more so into baking, so using a really dry formula like Airspun or like a drugstore powder. They tend to be pretty drying to me, like most of them that I've tried. This one, obviously HYDRA-MIST, it's supposed to be wet, so it does tend to hold on to fallout. So powder contour, my favorite contour kit. This is from Lunatic Cosmetics Labs. It has plenty of colors in here. I do like that once I do eventually pan one of these, I can just go right to their website and reorder it because these just come right out. I'm gonna dip in with the gray tones and then a little bit of this blush right here, this like deep rosy blush. Just a tad, just a titty tad. And we're gonna bring this more into the cheek a little bit, and then everywhere we apply a creamed contour. And I'm using the Duo Fiber Morphe M436. I love this one for my contour powder, but you can use any contour brush that you would like. As always, all my brushes are suggested. They're not like, or by ride or die, like you have to have this brush to work it out. You use what brush you got, girl, like you fine. I love this from Lunatic Cosmetics Labs. I wish they would come out with more stuff, honestly, but I understand. Get it where you fit in and you stay right there. Like, I don't know if they were taking a break or something, but they did release one palette this year, the Heart one. I almost wanted to pick it up just for the packaging, but like, I'm never gonna use reds like that. And personally, I have one of their eyeshadow palettes and like, I definitely prefer this formula over their formula for eyeshadows. You didn't hear it from me. I'm gonna take this little fan brush from Bare Minerals to apply blush, and we're actually gonna be using this nice one from MILANI. This is the Blossomtime Rose one. It looked a lot lighter in the pan initially before I got it, but once you actually kind of get the top layer off, it's a lot deeper. So I don't know if you guys can really see the difference. See how some of the petals where I've used it are darker? I thought it was the lighter color that's like around the outside of the pan and in the crevices of the roses, but it's still fine. I still love this blush. I think it's super pigmented. I love the little press in it. Like, MILANI, you take the time to really kind of make your stuff really extra and beautiful. And we're just gonna apply this onto the apple of the cheek and bring it up, like, you know, in this area where I always put it. So, this is the Chaos Cosmetics, and this is the Morphing Gel. You've seen me use it a couple times on camera already, but this is a new shade that I just recently got in. Stay tuned to seeing that on my Instagram, but this is in the shade Gaelic, and it's just a really nice lime green, and since my look is kind of green and blue today, spoiler alert, we're going to be using this one. This is in her new jars, so I really do like them. They're kind of bulky. I didn't realize like how wide they'd be, but I still really like them, and I think it shows off the product super well because they are like duo or multi-chrome shades, so you need to be able to see that curve so you can really get the full spectrum of like what shades are in there. We're just gonna apply this with my little shitty Wish brush. It's for foundation. All right, I haven't used this one, so let's see what it's like. Fucking gorgeous, of course. I'm just concentrating it on the cheekbone, and then I'm blending out the edges here. But y'all should definitely go look into these if you want to get like a nice eyeshadow base. Like, these work great for that. You can use them as a liquid highlight, you can use them as a lip topper, you can use them as just an eyeshadow. Like, there's so many different ways that you can use this, and I feel like they're reasonably priced for how much you're getting. Like, this was, I think, $9 for that amount of product. It will take me forever to use it all. And we're just stippling that over the face. Like, normally, you guys, when I use a liquid highlight, like on camera, like, I know I can see it in person, but like, you can normally never see it in my viewfinder. But these, you guys, you can see them. And if you don't want like it in a gel, you could also get these in loose pigment. Almost every shade I want to say that she has as a gel, she has as a powder version. They dry in like 90 seconds, so this is already going to be super dry. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my powder highlight, which is a little bit more bluish yellow tone, but this is from Fair Beauty, one of my affiliates. You can use the code FASTTIMES in order to save yourself 10%. This is Mermaid's Lagoon, if I didn't already say that, and it is like a blue shift to it, but then when you apply it, it has like a nice limey color come out, so I love it. And you can use these as eyeshadows as well, but I prefer to use it as a highlight because it's a loose one. And we'll take the Morphe M501 and we're gonna apply just a little bit because I find with these Chaos highlights, they're super glittery and beautiful on their own. I don't even need to top them with a powder highlight, but if I do, it kind of loses the shift. These ones from Fair are super pigmented, y'all. She also does have quite a few shades that are for medium and deep skin tone, so definitely go check her out. And even this shade, I can imagine it on chip and I'm like, oh my god, I know that it's gonna look beautiful. All right, now it's time for brows. So for today, we're gonna be using 2 different eyebrow liners from Distinction Cosmetics. You know, whenever I'm doing my brows, I'm using Distinction. I'm sorry, you guys. It is what it is. They're just so good. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But these are the shades Dublin, which is this nice green. Saw this in my Christmas one. I just put a little bit of Inglow Duraline in it to kind of loosen it back up because it's kind of dried because I've been using it so much lately. And then this is in the shade Sky. It's a really nice blue. Also put some Inglow Duraline in it. That's why it looks so wet. And then I'm going to be making an ombre with them. So I'm super excited. You can also use my code FASTTIME to save yourself 15%. I'll be using my Sephora in Gold liner. We're going to start with Dublin in the front of the brow. And then we're going to transition into Sky. It's always nice when I've let my brows grow back in too much because I can kind of see where my brow used to be. I tend to not make my eyebrows like super pigmented because one, they're always like a bold color anyways. It's just like too much for my personal taste. But if you want these to be more pigmented, you can go over them just a couple of times or just use a thicker application on your initial. Ooh, these two together, oh my god. It's making a nice like teal color. I love it. So right now I just mix Misty and Dublin together and I'm just going over to blend them a little bit because they do tend to dry pretty fast. All right, going in with Misty to just finish it out here. Wow, those are probably like the most symmetrical brows that I've done like first chance like in a minute. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I see like greens and blues like that, I always think of 2 things. Earth Day for some reason, because like, you know, the earth is really like colorful and everything on like, you know, your cartoony picture. And then I think of like an ocean gradient. So like that's what I was trying to go for, was an ocean gradient today because that's what we're doing. Okay, it's time for the best part, eyeshadows. So I feel like my face is doing really good. My nose is just the shiniest. I'm gonna dip into my Mirabella Beauty eyeshadow primer. This is one of my favorite like randomly discovered eyeshadow primers that I've ever had. Like for the most part I was using Urban Decay, the eyeshadow primer potion in original. This one I got in my Yes Oh Yeah subscription box. And I love it. I think it's so good. I always talk about how it's really good for like pressed pigment or like really dry mattes, which is what we're going to be using today. So for eyeshadow, my top one for 2019 is one that I continuously want to go back to. When I had different colored hair, of course, I was using it a lot more often because I just felt like it was so good. But this one from the start, I was so excited about, and I'm so glad that I finally got it. This is the Whale Song palette from Menagerie. It's so beautiful. You can't even tell that I've used it. But I have loved their formula from the beginning when they were still Makeup Monsters. This one I think is their best formulation by far. I haven't tried the Killer Purr palette, but I have seen other people use it, and that one light yellow shade, man, it just, you can't do it. If you want a similar kind of color story, you could always check out the Affinity 2 palette from Certified. They have a lot of really nice blues and greens in there. They have some mattes, they have some metallics, and some duochromes in it, which is nice considering most of their palettes are normally always all matte. Definitely one to check out if you don't want to get this one. So first shade we're going to dip in is the Kelp shade, and we're going to be taking a Morphe M412, also one of my favorite blending brushes for crease, and we're just going to dab that in, but I like barely stuck it in there, y'all. Barely. These mattes blend like a dream. You do have to be careful because they do cause staining. So like I'm filming 2 videos today and like I had to film this one first. This is a vegan and cruelty-free palette, so it does come with dyes. Take my favorite brush of 2019, this 4 Pro 14. And we're gonna take the shade Splash. Splash is a really beautiful metallic green, very deep. And I'm just gonna apply that to the inner corner. And we're going to go kind of up into a diagonal motion into the Kelp shade. And since this one is a metallic, I'm just patting it because I don't want a lot of fallout on my face, but typically this is how I'm going to apply any metallic or shimmer anyway. Same brush, next shade, we're going to take Barnacle, which is a deep tealy matte. And we're going to apply that next to Splash. Same kind of patting motion. Once we get all the shades established, we'll go in and do blending and stuff. But also the same kind of pattern, like a diagonal to the lash line. Y'all tell me down below what some of your favorites from 2019 are. Are some of mine some of yours? I know a lot of people did like the Whale Song palette, so I figured there may be some of you out there, but maybe not people who know who I am. Then we're going to take our last shade on the lid, and it's going to be Breaching, which is also a matte. It's a really deep blue. Same brush. We're just going to apply that into this outer corner. And I know it kind of looks like trash right now, but don't worry, we're going to blend. Now we're going to take a smaller brush and do some blending. Let's see what we're going to pick up here. For the crease, I'm going to go back in with the Morphe E18, another favorite brush of mine. We're going to take Kelp again and just help blend in to those other shades. I'm going to take a little bit of splash and just kind of blend it on top of the crease a little bit to where it's going into this outside corner. Same brush, I'm just stippling it. Gonna go back in with Kelp on the bottom lash line and just kind of like smoke it out. Okay, now that that's all done, I did add a little bit of my loose highlight from Fair into my inner corner, and I reinforced it back on the brow bone, but this is basically the eye look. I really like how shimmery it is on the inner corner there, but if you didn't want to use one shimmer and like 3 other mattes in a look, you could have easily used the shade Bubble Net, and that would have given you the same kind of payoff as Splash because it's basically the same kind of base green, so that's also one you could have used. Now we're going to jump into eyeliner, which I'm going to do a bright one today. This one is from Distinction as well, and this is in the shade Caution. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit, but this is a nice yellow, and we're going to apply it with a Morphe M432. It's just a nice little like straight line brush, but it's very flat. And we're just going to apply that onto the lower lash line here. Yes, that yellow just brings an extra pop that I really need. So I'm going to be doing lashes, lip, mascara off camera as normal. Tarte Manicure Mascara, no big deal. I really like this for when I apply lashes. It's really nice to just kind of get those bottom lashes really coated. Lip is gonna be from Baby Bat, and this is in a nice like dark teal shade. This is in Dauntless. Exactly how it looks on the lip too. It doesn't dry down darker, it doesn't dry down lighter. It remains exactly the same in the pan. Then we're gonna be going in with some lashes from Sticker Dolls. These are the Wispy Queens. These are like 30mm lashes. They are super, super long and gorgeous. However, sadly, they are mink, so I'm going to get my last few wears out of them and then just get rid of them. So I'm going to apply all these things and jump right into close-ups, and I'll see you guys after that. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I really love how the way this came out. I know I say that like every time, whatever. I don't give a shit. You know I like it. That's why I made it. I do enjoy how like oceany this came out with. Like if you hold me up next to the packaging of the Whale Song palette, like do I not represent the Whale Song palette like in my whole face? I think I do. Y'all tell me. I really love this palette. I think Menagerie has really come forward and sticking to their branding, really revamping themselves. I know that they were makeup monsters before, and it's just so nice to see them like be able to grow through that transitioning period and really focus on what they want to do and curate what they want to bring to people and stand by what they think is important. Go ahead and check them out if you want to try them, or if you haven't tried them already. If you have this palette, let me know down below. I love talking to you guys and seeing what kind of feedback that you have for me. Go ahead and follow me on my social media. It's all DeathandCandy27. I have Instagram, Facebook, and here. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, girl, and put that bell notification on. And if you feel like you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, but you do not have to, okay? Don't feel pressured to like it. I don't care. If you watch it, that's cool. I personally care more about views than likes. I know that you guys enjoy watching the content. That's what that tells me, is that you like watching it. Stay safe this holiday season, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!